Okay, so I want to talk with you today about the mark of the beast and also about the vaccine. Now, don't get worried. YouTube's not going to ban this video because I don't talk against the vaccine. I do, but I don't. Okay, so hang in there with me. Today is the day that I'm going to get rid of a lot more subscribers. And those are the ones who are fanatics about the vaccine being the mark of the beast. If you believe that more than you believe Jesus, then go, leave. Okay, you have no part with us because we follow Jesus Christ, the Lambkin. That's who we follow. And we don't set ourselves in a position based on the vaccine. The vaccine has nothing to do with our salvation. And I'm going to talk about that. And I'm going to prove to you once and for all that the vaccine is not the mark of the beast. It's very easy to prove if you know the scriptures. So let's go ahead and first talk about how serious it is to take the mark of the beast. And I've got Revelation 14 open here on this monitor. And on this monitor, I've got something from the Gospels. I want to read to you what Jesus said. Let's start with what John tells us. In 14:9, Revelation 14:9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the lambkin. It says lamb, but it's literally lambkin, little lamb. So this is not the end of it, though. And a lot of people stop there and they go to some other verse or some other chapter or book. It says, and the smoke of their torment, the torment of those who are being punished for having taken the mark of the beast and worshipped him. It says, and the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever. That means they will be tormented forever. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest, day nor night. They are being tormented 24/7 forever. Is that what you want? For they have no rest, day or night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. So, that's how we overcome that. Now, if there were no Christians during that time, then that would not be needed to be said. That it requires patience on the part of the saints. The saints, not some saints. Not the Latter-day Saints. I mean, the Mormons aren't the ones who are going to be going through the tribulation. So, don't run off running telling everyone that I said that. Okay. When I said Latter-day Saints, that's what they call themselves, the Latter-day Saints. No. But there are not going to be a separate category of Christians who arise during the tribulation all alone with no other Christians there. So there's nothing like that in Scripture. So now you know that the punishment for taking the mark of the beast and worshiping him is never-ending torment, 24/7 with no rest, in the presence of the holy angels and the lambkin, which means it's shame. It's utter shame constantly before your face. Now let's go to the Gospel of Mark. So Jesus is speaking here in chapter 7, starting in verse 14. And when he had called all the people unto him, he said unto them, hearken unto me, every one of you, and understand. There is nothing from without a man, like outside a man, external to a man, that entering into him can defile him. But the things which come out of him, those are they that defile the man. If any man have ears to hear, let him hear. And when he was entered into the house from the people, his disciples asked him concerning the parable. So this is a parable. No matter how short it is, it's a parable. And he saith unto them, Are ye so without understanding also? He insulted his disciples for asking him the question. And people are insulted by me asking them similar kind of question here on the channel. And they shouldn't be. Jesus did the same thing. Do ye not perceive that whatsoever thing from without, external, entereth into the man, it cannot defile him? It cannot defile him. Because it entereth not into his heart, but into the belly, and goeth out into the draught, purging all meats, meaning the poop. And he said, That which cometh out of the man, that defileth the man. So I mean, if you touch food, the food's not going to defile you. It's you can eat it, right? But if you touch your poop, that defiles you. You must clean your hands. That's what he's saying. That which cometh out of the man, like poop, what he just said, poop, that defileth the man. So if you touch that, you're defiled. You're unclean. You need to wash your hands. He's just saying something that's normal that everyone understands and knows. For from within, now he's going to get to the parable, the spiritual lesson. For from within, out of the heart of men, proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, fornications, murders, thefts, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness, an evil eye, blasphemy, pride, and my favorite of all, to point out to people, foolishness. So next time you criticize me for saying that you're a fool, you better think twice, because I've defended this practice to quite a few people who come to the channel. And they go, oh, what about what Jesus said about, this, you'll be in danger of the Sanhedrin or the council, and in danger of the fire of hell. And I explain all that. But they still don't accept it. And then I point out many, many, many other places where both Jesus and Paul call people fools. Because it's not just Jesus. You can't just say, oh, he's the Son of God. Because Paul does too. And he doesn't apologize for it. All these evil things come from within and defile the man. He's equating these to poop. If you deceive someone, it's like pooping and then touching it. That's what you've done. You're not pooping on them. You're pooping and touching it, like Martin Luther used to do. He did it quite often. It's very well known that he was harassed by some spiritual being constantly, trying to get him to stop what he was doing. He called the spiritual being the devil. I believe it was an angel from God who was trying to get him to stop his disobedience, his rebellion, because he was in Korah's rebellion as a false teacher, trying to destroy the testimony of God, trying to get rid of 2 of the books to cover his tracks. Inventing heresies, making false predictions of Christ's return, which didn't happen, so he's a false prophet also. And he used to take and he would poop wherever he was, in public, in private, didn't matter to him. He would stop, he'd poop. As soon as that being would show up, he'd pull down his pants and poop. He'd grab the poop and throw it at him. That was Martin Luther. So those of you who love Martin Luther, that's who you love. disgusting. And you trust a man like that? It's unbelievable. All these evil things come from within and defile the man. So now you say, what does that have to do with the vaccine? Well, where does the vaccine come into the body? From outside, right? It's not coming from out of the heart into the body. The vaccine's coming from the outside. It's the same kind of thing. It's something from the outside, from without the man, that comes in. Does it defile the man? It doesn't go to the place from where thefts and covetousness, wickedness, deceit come from. Because nothing physical can enter that place. Because that's spiritual, that's the soul. You say, but it's the heart, and it's going into the heart through the blood. It's not the same heart. There are two words for heart. One refers to the physical heart, and one refers to the soul, the seat of the emotions of the soul. And while, yes, the ancients did tie the two together, they were not equivalent. So, you can't become a thief because you took the vaccine. You can't start being covetousness because you took the vaccine. You can't start committing adultery with your neighbor's wife because you took the vaccine. It doesn't work that way. And you know that. I don't need to tell you that. I'm just trying to draw attention to it so that you keep it in mind. The vaccine is not the thing that is going to make you unclean. Now, I'm not advocating taking the vaccine because with a degree in biology and examining it, it's dangerous. And I don't even have a master's in biology, and I understand it's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's medically dangerous. Let me correct that. It's biologically dangerous. I'm not going to give medical advice. But my viewpoint is from a biology standpoint. It's biologically dangerous. So, we should not take it. But not because it's the mark of the beast. It is not the mark of the beast. It is not the mark of the beast. And you're afraid that you're not going to recognize the mark of the beast. Let me tell you that the only way that you as a saved believer actually following Jesus Christ, obeying his commands, will take the mark of the beast is if you're fooled, if you're tricked, like deceived. And if you're doing this, you won't be deceived because you receive the love of the truth. Paul made that clear, that it's the ones who do not receive the love of the truth into their salvation, who will be sent a very strong delusion by God to believe those who lie. So, if you want to make sure that you will not be tricked and cheated into taking the mark of the beast, you must stay close and draw up close to God. Stop sinning, walk in his commands, be righteous. You see, Ron, that's a big order. Why is it a big order? Right now, are you sinning? Are you sinning? At this moment, are you sinning? Why? If you are, why? How? Are you thinking, what? Lewd thoughts about some woman on your monitor? Maybe you're seeing a thumbnail of another video on the side, and it's a scantily dressed woman, or it's an ASMR artist, right? Or something like that, and you're starting to imagine, I'd like to, do this with her and do that with her. Why are you doing that? You can tell not interested. Do it. Mark it, the little 3 dots next to that video, click it and go not interested. And then they get the signal that you're not interested in that kind of stuff. Do that enough times, you won't be getting those pictures of those women unless you're going to porn videos and things like that. There are some of those on YouTube. You need to stay away from those. Maybe you're thinking of some other evil to do. Why? Stop it. It's your thoughts. Take control of them. We talked about it in the last video, how every temptation comes from within you, from your lusts. Therefore, it's smaller than you. You have control over it. And there's no temptation that's bigger than what you can handle, Paul says in Romans. Everything is not Romans, but Paul says it, right? And everything is under your control, that you can choose. Do I want to sin or not sin? It's not out of your control. Those Christians who say that, oh, I must sin, I have no choice, they are slaves to sin. Do not listen to them, do not follow them. They've fallen into the gutter, and they can't get out, or don't want to get out. You don't get down there with them. You can stop sinning. Every choice that you make for sin, you have a choice to make for not sinning and doing what's right. If you have a choice of clicking that link and going to a porn website, I won't mention it, but there's a super famous one everyone talks about. If you click on that, or type it in, or whatever, or go find it in your history if you've been there before, if you do that, you have an option of not doing it also. No one's forcing you. No one's holding a gun to your head and grabbing your hand and forcing you to click. No one's doing that. You are doing it. It's your choice, and you have other choices. You could quickly hit the off button on the computer. Even if you have work open, it's better to lose that work than to sin. Do it. Pull the plug. Turn it off. Go for a walk. Leave your phone, because you can use your phone also to access it when you're out and about. Leave everything electronic. Go for a walk. So you have choices. Every single time you have choices. And the more often you choose against a sin, the easier it is to keep choosing against it and say, no, that is not me. But when it comes to the mark of the beast, if you are walking according to what it says right here, it says, here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. They're not two separate things. They're not opposing each other. Keeping the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus are not opposed to each other. And those who talk like that have no idea who Jesus is or what the gospel is. They don't know. They don't understand. And they're the ones who will be deceived into taking the mark of the beast. Because they think that, well, you either believe in Jesus or you obey God's commands because that's the law and you're under the law and blah, 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 blah. And they spit out and vomit out all this stuff that they have no idea what they're saying. And here in Revelation, it's crystal clear. It says, here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. There it is. If you want to avoid the mark of the beast, you must keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. And whenever the true mark of the beast is trying to be dispensed, and people are being tricked and fooled into taking it, you will not. You will see it absolutely clear for what it is. Everyone else, there will be like a hologram in front of it, and they'll go, oh, it's an angel of light giving it out. Oh, it's Jesus Christ sitting in the temple, when it's the Antichrist. Yeah, and it's his angels who are delivering it around, his messengers. And this is the eternal life elixir for our DNA to be repaired forever and will never decay again. Give me, give me, give me. And you'll see right through it, because you're obeying God's commandments and the faith of Jesus. That means you will see and you'll say, that's not Jesus. That is not Jesus. It's not. And that is not the elixir of life, because it's called the tree of life, and it's in the new Jerusalem, on the new earth, under the new heavens, after this one is burned up all the way to the elements of it, the building blocks of this. So the tree of life cannot be on this planet. This has to be burned up first. And the new heavens and the new earth replace it, coming down from out of God. So, and you'll know that. You will know that. The Holy Spirit will be speaking to you, but not to those who do not do the commandments of God. Not to those who try to say, oh, you either have to do the commandments of God and then you're Jewish under the old covenant, or you have the faith in Jesus. And they're trying to excuse themselves from obeying God and obeying Christ. I'm not even talking about the law of Moses. I'm talking about obeying God and obeying Jesus. And they're trying to find a way out, to worm their way out, so they can go and have an affair against their wives while they're preaching the gospel at some megachurch. Or stealing money, embezzling money, or cheating people out of their retirement income so that they can live lavishly and never work. So you need to have patience as a terrifyingly clean one, obeying the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus at the same time. And then you will not be tricked. You will not be tricked and cheated. May the Lord bless you as you seek him with all your heart.